Hey, friends! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host, Nicole, for some hope-filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey, Hearties! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, joined by my wonderful co-host, Brennan, to talk about When Calls the Heart, Season 1, Episode 9, Change of Heart. It was written by Ken Kroll and directed by Ann Wheeler.
Jack formally asks Elizabeth for a dinner date, which turns out to be a romantic evening at the cafe. Meanwhile, Elizabeth's younger sister makes a surprise visit to Coal Valley.
So, Brennan, what were your first impressions on Season 1, Episode 9?
Oh, I love this episode so much. It's just so romantic and sweet. We get Jack and Elizabeth's first official date, and it's so beautiful. And we get to meet Julie, who we love. And there's a little bit of mystery and a little bit of suspense. It's such a great episode. It's one of my favorites of season 1.
Yes, it's one of mine too. It's so
Mm.
good. What would you say is the emotional tone of the episode? So, one word to describe this episode.
Hopeful.
Yeah, I think I'll use the same one.
Yeah,
Also, maybe bittersweet?
definitely bittersweet.
Yes. What is your hot take of this week, if you have one?
Oh, my hot take. Both Thatcher sisters really take a chance. I mean, Elizabeth takes this chance of starting this courtship with Mountie Jack. And in a lot of ways, because of his profession, that's a big leap of faith and trust. And then at the same time, or in the same episode, her sister Julie is also taking a leap of faith in this man that she found in the woods. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah. I don't know that I have a bold or unpopular opinion. Now, I do have an opinion on something that would be fun to see in the future or a person, Patrick O'Reilly.
I like him.
Come back to Hope Valley.
Come back. A lot has changed. He needs to come back.
Yeah, and he's a great actor. We were just talking a couple weeks ago about Connor Stanhope, who plays Bo, and him being in Garage Mysteries. The actor that plays Constable Patrick O'Reilly was also in Garage Mysteries, one episode.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yes, I won't spoil his character.
Okay, good. Because I haven't watched yet.
I've seen that episode a couple times, and that's all I can say.
Lips are sealed.
I will tell you the name of the movie that he's in, or the episode. I think, if I remember correctly, it's Garage Mysteries, a novel murder.
Ooh, okay.
It's a great episode of that series.
It sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coal Valley Chronicles. So the 2 to 3 main storylines in this episode, Jack and Elizabeth's first date and the transfer that Patrick O'Reilly shared with him that came through, Julie's arrival and the introduction of the Tolliver gang, and Abigail starting to help Jack with the coal mine investigation. And just briefly bringing this up, can we talk about that awkward nighttime interaction in the cafe with Henry and Abigail?
Oh, big old flop.
When he's asking her to lunch, and she's like, no.
No bueno.
Nope.
And it would have been really easy for her to just appease him and just say, okay, fine, I'll try and make nice and go have a meal with you. But she just stood her ground and said, no, no, this is not happening.
Nope.
No.
Yep. And he's like, I'll pick you up at such and such a place. And she's like, no, I will meet you at your office.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. I'm perfectly capable of,
Walking
or
myself to your
yes. She's
office.
like, no, I know where your office is. I will walk myself there. Thank
There.
you very much.
Yes.
This was sly, creepy Henry.
Uh, yeah. What do you think this episode set in motion for the rest of the season and the show? At least up to season 5.
Yeah. Well, it definitely sets in motion Jack and Elizabeth's
Yeah.
courtship, which we love so much.
Yes, for sure. Also, the coal mine trial and maybe the start of Elizabeth's fear of something happening to Jack because this is the first episode where she expresses that, what if he meets someone or what if he gets injured or hurt, I think is what she said.
Mm. That conversation that she has with Abigail,
Hmm.
and she just starts to cry, and you can see that she's already feeling those fears and those worries. And oh, it's just so heartbreaking because we
Yeah.
know we know what ultimately happens, unfortunately.
Yeah. But Hearts of the Valley, starting with moments of growth, vulnerability, and conflict. What were some moments of growth for you with any of the characters in this episode?
Oh, well, I would maybe say Jack had some growth as far as, at the beginning of the season, he was kind of firm and, Mounties, they don't settle down, they don't marry.
Hmm.
And now he's falling in love with her. And
Yeah.
so that is bringing about this confidence of, no, I'm going to
Hmm.
court this woman. I'm finally going to show her my intent and tell her my feelings and my
Hmm.
intentions. And I think Abigail, she grows in confidence because each
Hmm.
time she stands up to Henry over and over again, I think that builds her character.
I echo your thoughts on moments of growth, moments of vulnerability. I'd say maybe just a little bit the interactions with Abigail and Henry because he's like really going at it. He is insistent on
Yes.
his stance on the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he sure is.
Yeah. I mean, he's basically going after her
Mm-hmm.
with words.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he sure is.
And then vulnerability with Julie, I think that's pretty obvious. Being deceived by Nate Tolliver's good looks
Mm-hmm.
and words that he uses to try to charm her.
Mm-hmm.
Not cool, Nate
Oh,
Tolliver.
no, she's like molasses when she's around him. It just everything he says just makes her melt.
And moments of conflict. I'd say Jack finding out about the new posting. So,
Mhm.
not conflict between another character, but
Mhm.
internal conflict.
Yes, completely. I agree.
And moments of conflict, I'd say with Henry too and
Hmm.
Abigail.
Totally.
So, time for Mountie Watch. Jack and Constable Patrick O'Reilly's first talk in the Mountie office. So, we hear a little bit of history on Patrick O'Reilly. He volunteered for the escort assignment and loved rounding up the bad guys along with keeping people safe. But everything changed once he met his wife, Sarah, and they had their first child. Then O'Reilly informed Jack of the transfer new posting to Cape Fullerton. Clearly not happy about it. Even O'Reilly can tell how unhappy he is because he said, I thought you wanted this.
Mm. He's a little caught off guard. Like,
Yes,
oh, I thought you'd be so excited.
yes. As he slams the paper on the desk.
because he wants to stay with his girl.
Oh,
He's fallen in love.
yes. Before we move on to the next scene, I just find it interesting that season 12
Mhm.
ends with Nathan, Elizabeth, Allie, and Jack going to Cape Fullerton. And Jack was originally supposed to be in Cape Fullerton. Like, what?
Whoa.
Um, don't worry, Team Nathan. I don't think Jack is coming back.
No.
That ship has sailed as much as I love Jack. But I just find it interesting, all the Cape Fullerton talk.
Hmm. I actually really appreciate that you just brought this up because I was thinking about that during these past couple episodes. And in so many ways, I mean, they replace each other over and over again. If that makes sense, meaning like Jack was the first one for Elizabeth, the first Mountie, the first love to protect her. Because of Jack, Nathan comes to Hope Valley. And because of now little Jack, Nathan is now going to Cape Fullerton. You know?
I am still on the Nathan was supposed to be the original Mountie of Coal Valley slash
Mhm.
Hope Valley train.
Girl, we are like-minded that way because I agree. I think so too.
I still feel like it could line up.
It would totally line up. It would totally line up. Both of those men were meant to be there.
Yes.
They just were there
And
after and before each other.
isn't it interesting that Jack's original posting was supposed to be in Cape Fullerton? Hmm.
Hmm. Very interesting. So who would have had to come to Coal Valley?
See what I mean, Hardee's? It lines up.
It totally lines up.
They cannot be bringing up Cape Fullerton just because.
No, and now Jack's mom is there,
Yeah.
according to the season 12 finale. There's just so many coincidences.
Yeah. And I'll quote Oliver O'Toole for a second here. Coincidence is the middle name of the Almighty. There,
Amen. Amen.
there are no coincidences.
I agree with that.
Back to 1910, Coal Valley. Jack and Abigail at the cafe. He shares his thoughts with her about his new revelations in the mine disaster and enlists her help. He believes that the Pacific Northwest Mining Company may have cut corners in order to save money, orders that led to the disaster, and that it could have been prevented with adequate safety measures. According to Abigail, Noah was arguing with Henry months before the explosion and wouldn't tell her why so that she wouldn't worry. And, that's when Jack enlists her help to uncover the truth. And I'll put a spoiler alert here for the revelations that the Hardys who have seen the preview for the When Calls the Heart box set with the unaired season 6 episodes with Lori. Um, Henry agreed with Noah Stanton. What? Like, Henry could have done something to stop it. He
Mhm.
tried to stop it. What?
What?
This is why they should have just aired the episodes.
They should have. They should have.
The fact they cut that leaves the whole story out.
It leaves a whole story out, and that fills in so much of the holes of why Henry could not forgive himself and felt guilty for so long.
What? Like mind blown emoji.
Hmm. I am so excited to see
Yeah.
all of these scenes with Abigail. I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Yes. I mean, I understand why they cut them,
Hmm.
but they should have just let the season air
Yes.
and then figured out what they were going to do
Hmm.
until the whole thing that happened with Lori worked itself out.
Hmm. I completely agree.
That explains so much of Henry.
It explains so much. And we probably get to see a little bit more of their relationship.
Yeah.
Finally we get to see them get to that good place.
Yeah. But again, back to 1910 Coal Valley. We hear a conversation with Jack and Patrick discussing the Tolliver gang, and they're the most elusive gang around at that time. Nate is the brains behind everything. They've hit around 10 banks along with trains, stagecoaches, and I think O'Reilly said pretty much anything that they can
Mhm.
rob, they robbed.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Not cool.
Community chatter. We didn't see a whole lot of group scenes in this episode. I think the only ones that were in the episode were school scenes, maybe two or three, I think, at
Mhm.
most.
Mhm.
There was one in the beginning that I think
Yes.
opened the episode, and then there was
Mhm.
the one after Julie arrived when Elizabeth is giving the lesson on entomology, and there are different subgroups or families. Metatology, I don't think I pronounced that right,
Mhm.
which is the study of bees, and then apiology, which is the study of honeybees.
Mhm.
And Julie saying, my apiologies.
She's so cute.
Yes. And then she teases Elizabeth in front of her students about her fear of bugs. She's like, frightened, I tell you, frightened.
She she was such a backseat driver, but in a classroom.
Yep. And Elizabeth's like, stop right now.
I'm about to kick you out of my class.
And then we have the outdoor school scene when they're collecting the bugs. And
Yeah.
Gabe bringing the bug to Elizabeth, and he's like, look. And then she's like, get that away from me.
She's like, Gabe, please.
And this is when O'Reilly offers to take Julie on the tour of Coal Valley, which doesn't really happen because she leaves them stranded.
Right. She kind of goes on her own tour.
And what O'Reilly says after the supposed Coal Valley tour,
Mhm.
when he meets with Jack, something about her needing to find the appropriate place to do her business. I think Jack follows up with, you were assigned the more challenging of the Thatcher sisters. And O'Reilly answers to that with, I've tracked and arrested lifelong criminals that are easier to manage than she is, or something along those lines.
It's so good.
Oh, Julie.
Oh, Julie, Julie, we do love you.
So, Coal Valley highlights. What were the top three scenes in this episode for you?
Oh, well, Jack and Elizabeth's date,
Mm-hmm.
and also the scene after the date with Elizabeth and Julie.
Yes, when they're talking about the
Yes.
date. Yeah.
Yes. And I think the scene with Elizabeth and Abigail.
Yeah. So, of course, the date, he walks in and she's like, Jack Thornton, you look. It's like, so do you.
They both look
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. He looks so handsome. She is
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. Hmm.
Yes. And the whole date was just beautiful too. The setting in the cafe with students helping out with the food and the music. So sweet.
Mhm. Oh, it was gorgeous. Everything just flowed. It was
Yeah.
like they just were floating the whole time, and it was just the beautiful candlelight and
Yeah.
mhm,
And the dance was beautiful.
so beautiful.
Yes.
And I love when he says, "Oh, I'm sure my efforts tonight pale in comparison to other suitors you've had," and that kind of makes her giggle. And
Yeah.
it's just really sweet how
Hmm.
Jack says that because he's just so humble and he
Yeah.
set up this beautiful date, and it
Mhm.
can't get any better than that.
Yeah. Legions of suitors is what he said.
Yes, thank you. And then she goes,
Legions
"Legions."
of suitors. Yes.
And the kids there were really sweet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a couple of other scenes that were top for me that weren't already mentioned. I'll start with Jack and Elizabeth's talk in the saloon about his transfer. This is such a good scene. Jack decides he's not going to leave Coal Valley and he's going to put an appeal to stay no matter what the consequences are. But Elizabeth says, I can't let you do that. I can't be the person that keeps you from following your dreams. You would only resent me. Just like I wouldn't forgive my parents if they had kept me from coming to Coal Valley to follow my dreams. And, he says, that won't happen.
It's such a beautiful conversation because Elizabeth starts out feeling so excited that he's willing to stay for her, but then you see that realization. She's realizing in her heart, she knows
Mhm.
she can't stop him from going, and
Yeah.
she doesn't want to.
Hmm. And, there's been a lot of talk about how Jack always put his job first. And I think this is an exception.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the few standout moments that really show that Jack was not always about his job. I mean, he
No,
offered, like, he was literally going to put his job on the line to stay for Elizabeth.
he was. Before he even talked to her about it, he just
Hmm.
decided that on his own.
Hmm. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that was after the talk with Gabe, which is another favorite scene of mine. It
Oh,
was very
yeah.
brief, but
Mm-hmm.
they're talking about love, and Gabe basically says he already knows who he wants to marry. And
Mm-hmm.
Jack says, your first love is rarely your last. And Gabe follows up with, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you see a girl and your whole future is clear as a bell. And you can see from Jack's expression, he's really thinking about that.
Mm-hmm. He sure is. And I thought that was a great scene
Hmm.
too. And Gabe, he's so wise beyond his
Hmm.
years.
Yes. And that was literally right before the talk with Jack and Elizabeth. That was the scene right
Yes.
before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not leaving Coal Valley.
Mm-hmm. Right. He sure does. He just marches in and says, "Nope, I'm staying."
Oh, it's such a good scene. And it's kind of a tear jerking scene because that one point at the end when she puts her hand on his face and she says, I'm sorry you have to do this,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to go. I know it in my heart, and you do too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, and I mean that's the ultimate act of love,
yeah.
putting his own interests and his future
Yes.
before hers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. An honorable mention scene that I wrote down Jack actually asking Elizabeth on the date. I've come to ask for your hand. I beg your pardon?
It's so sweet.
Elizabeth, please do consider this an act of courtship
Oh, oh, Jack.
with the kiss on the hand.
It's so beautiful. And then she asks, "Can I have my hand back?"
Back. Yes. Also, I just remembered this scene. I think it's the first conversation after Julie arrives and they're
Mhm.
in Abigail's room, so
Yeah.
to speak, or one of the rooms above the cafe. And they're talking about Jack and the date. And Julie says, it's as if there's gravity between you, like the earth pulling on the moon. And then about a minute or two later, she says,
Mhm.
a beautiful young teacher comes to a farming, and Elizabeth corrects her to coal mining town.
Yeah.
And then something is awakened inside of her by a virile man of the law in a red serge jacket. And Elizabeth is like, awakened? Virile? That's bombastic.
I love the words Elizabeth uses because she's just denying, 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 and Julia's seeing right through it.
Yep. And then a minute or two later, after that, Elizabeth is talking to Joy about getting involved in her love life.
Yeah.
And she's like, me? Meddle? I never meddle. I don't meddle. I invest emotionally into your well being.
Such the little sassy sister.
Yes.
It's so great.
Yep.
Elizabeth is just trying to like turn her off, and Julie just, nope, keep going.
Yep. And then the metaphor she uses after the date when she says something about skinny dipping, and she's like, metaphorically, of course.
Yeah. Oh, Julie went after dark.
Julie's been reading too many romance novels.
She really has. And I like in the conversation you just mentioned at the beginning of the episode, she calls him a delectable Mountie.
Yes.
It's so good.
I want to meet your delectable Mountie.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
speaking of Julie's arrival, Easter eggs and callbacks.
Mhm.
Now, I didn't review season 10 with you, but Teresa and I did bring this up, I think,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. How in episode 2, the 100th episode, when Julie and Aunt Agatha visit Hope Valley, the arrival of Agatha and Julie is kind of a callback to this arrival of Julie.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Because at one point, as they're walking into the saloon, Agatha mentions something about the smell, and Julie's just like completely unfazed.
Yeah, that's right. But she's like, that's the Wild West, Auntie, or something. Just like, oh yeah, I've been here.
Yes. I think it was something about the horses, if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
Oh, I think you're right. Like, oh, those are the horses. Yes. It's so good.
Agatha needs to come back.
That would be great. That would be really, really great. And off subject for a minute, but I would like to see her have another interaction with Lucas and have him tell her, hey, I'm governor now.
Yeah.
You were kind of right about me.
Yes. I guess this is a call back or call forward. The Jack and Elizabeth photo that turns into the drawing that is hung in Elizabeth's house is in this
Mhm.
episode.
I love when he says smile and she says, I haven't been able to stop since our date.
Dinner. Since our dinner. Yeah. Who do you think had the best performance in this episode?
I think Elizabeth did.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll say
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Hmm.
And the best quote. For me, I'd say one from Abigail in the scene with Elizabeth. If you
Hmm.
two were meant to be together, then nothing will stand in your way.
Oh, so good.
Yes. What about for you?
How Elizabeth was describing the date to Julie. I think those are my favorite words in the episode. Just she described it so beautifully. Everything she said about it. That was my favorite.
Going to Faith and Frontier, what were some themes of this episode for you?
Oh, well, definitely the theme of love.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the theme of new chapters, new beginnings. And I think the theme of following your instincts and following, yeah, what's in your heart.
I agree with that. Yeah. Sacrifice for love, which in this case, it would be with Jack and Elizabeth, Jack and his struggle between leaving Coal Valley to advance his career versus staying in town for his newfound love for Elizabeth. And then Elizabeth insisting that he not sacrifice his future for her, fearing he would resent her later. I think a Bible verse that would fit this Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 through 5. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others. In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus. And I think that is just the perfect verse.
It's so perfect. It really is.
So, idealism versus reality and the danger of outward appearances. Of
Mhm.
course, this is displayed with Julie and her whole story with Nate Tolliver. Julie, she arrives in town
Mhm.
with an overly romanticized view of frontier life and
Yes.
Elizabeth's fairy tale romance with Jack. And her naivety is shattered after bringing wounded outlaw Nate Tolliver into Coal Valley because of believing his lies. And you contrast her innocence with Elizabeth's realism, and that highlights the dangers of ignoring reality for a more romantic narrative. Julie is being misled by Nate Tolliver because she is taken in by his story and good looks. Not
Mhm.
always a good idea.
No. Nope.
Believing he is an innocent victim and ignoring warning signs like the gunshot,
Yeah, pretty big deal.
which proves it's important to be cautious and look behind a person's surface level charm. A Bible verse I think fits this is John chapter 7 verse 24. Stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly.
Mm, well said.
Always be careful who you come in contact with because they might not be who they say they are.
Right. Exactly. It's a really good lesson.
The only other theme I wrote down was integrity and accountability. Of course, this fits the mining disaster with Jack's investigation into the mine's practices
Mhm.
and suspecting that Henry cut corners. With Jack leaving, he enlists Abigail and gives her the opportunity to uncover the truth and
Mhm.
seek justice for her late husband, Noah, and all the other victims, and
Mhm.
hold powerful people like Henry Gowan accountable.
Mhm.
So, two verses I think could fit this. This one was mentioned in an episode earlier in the season,
Mhm.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 3, and that
Mhm.
is the integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity,
Mm.
which very much fits this.
It's very fitting.
Yes. And Ephesians chapter 4, verse 25. Therefore, each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor, for we are all members of one body. So I think this verse could relate to Henry's side of this.
Mm.
So he shouldn't be lying. Put
Nope.
off that falsehood.
Hmm. Exactly. Well said.
Of course, we do find out the truth later on,
We do, thankfully.
as we talked about earlier.
Hmm.
So, what is the overall message you took from this episode, and how do you think the message and the themes of this episode apply to today?
I think the theme for me was, I think, just taking that leap of faith for love, for what you believe in. I think Jack and Elizabeth really did that. Abigail really did that. Even Julie took a leap of
Mhm.
faith, believing this total stranger.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. What
agreed.
about you?
The message that I took from this episode, prioritizing people over personal ambitions, the dangers of living in a naive fantasy,
Mm.
how the pursuit of justice is a difficult but worthy path, and that
Mhm.
sometimes goodbyes are necessary for growth.
Oh, those are so good.
Yes. So, Hardy's trivia. Our trivia question for episode 8 was, what was Gabe dressed up as for the Founders Day play? The answer is a candle maker. Our trivia question for this week, how many years did Constable Patrick O'Reilly say he worked in North Burlington and Elwood Ridge? Leave your guesses in the comments of this video if you get to
Mhm.
the end of this episode. Well, I think that concludes our review of When Calls the Heart, Season 1, Episode 9. If you enjoyed this episode and are watching on YouTube, you can like this video and share your thoughts about the episode in the comments. If you are listening on Spotify, make sure to rate and review, as your feedback is always greatly appreciated. If you want to stay up to date on all of our When Calls the Heart reviews, you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube and follow along on Spotify. And make sure to turn on the bell so you are alerted when those new episodes come. You can also find the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Swing My Heart Podcast and Twitter at Swing My Heart Pod. And you can find Brennan on Instagram at West Hardy. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next time. We love y'all. Bye.